This is We All Be, news-free Dixie for the 21st century. See how it works? Somewhere. Can you dig it?
And so just want you to know. Man, I looked at that smile on your face just now. And the first time I ever wished I was a photographer to take that picture and let the world see that honesty and that integrity. And know some of the things I know, how you drive all over the country to chase us down. Chase us down. Okay? We move so fast. I don't know if you're married, I don't know if you're a family, I don't know if you're a wife. Okay? But when we get on here, we bosom friends. Anytime I see you, I stop whatever I'm doing. Hey, my man, how are you? Hey. Hey, man, well, that's, I owe that to you. It's an obligation that you have. How old are you?
Oh, 36.
Well, you don't have the right to do what 36 people do. You don't have the right to go to the dance or go to the party. You don't have a right to take that trip to Europe when I might need that plane fare to fly somebody else to feed my people that love me. Mm-hmm. You feed them. Oh, it's one thing being hungry from food. Right. There's another thing being hungry for information.
That's right.
And that's you the feeder. You got to be the farmer. You got to grow the crop. Huh? You got to till the grain. And at nighttime, when you hear something that sounds like water, you got to go and see if the crop's going to be flooded. That's your job, man.
Hey, everybody, this is Brother Ron. I am asking you all to do me a big favor. Think about supporting the We All Be movement. Your donation is tax deductible. The We All Be Group Incorporated is a recognized 501c3. And I'm just asking you all because I want to keep on bringing y'all quality work through the way that I know how to do best. And I'm going to sing my praises and toot my horn. A lot of y'all were not hip to Dick Gregory until Brother Ron brought him on the We All Be platform, until that jingle review we did. Y'all seen another side of Judge Joe Brown, and Judge Joe Brown's message has been amplified. But it was We All Be that brought Judge Joe Brown to y'all back in 2014. And so many others. And we covered so many things. So help us out so we can help you all. Peace. Greetings, family. This is your brother, Brother Ron, requesting your help to help save We All Be. The feeder needs you all to feed We All Be. We All Be has been under attack due to heavy censorship tactics on social media. They're trying to shut us down, but we won't give up, give in, or give out without a fight, because we all be in it to win it. Please think about donating to the cause. You can try our Venmo, our Cash App, our PayPal options. You can support us through Patreon, our patreon.com/weallbe. You can buy Artivist Art, r2c2h2.com. You can wear Artivist Art. Go to our Teespring, r2c2h2's place. We all be in it to win it. Know that the best is yet to come. And thank you all for your continued support. We love you madly. And please also remember, family, if you want to keep up with all things We All Be, please join our mail list. You can email yours truly, Brother Ron, at weallbe@gmail.com. Once again, that's weallbe@gmail.com to keep up with what's going on with We All Be. Remember, information is power and knowledge is the currency of the universe. But please feed We All Be so that the feeder can keep on feeding the people. One love. Can you dig it? I sure can. Amplify blessings, amplify blessings, amplify blessings, and thank you, thank you, thank you. See how it works? Somewhere. And please remember and never forget that we love you madly. Hey, greetings, everybody. Guess who's back? Back again. This is Brother Ron. Tell your friends. This is We All Be News Free Dixie for the 21st century. And it's also, we are in a Mercury retrograde. So I'm having some technical difficulties, but the show must go on. So I'm trying to get my face back into place. I know that's my little avatar, but that's me. I'm not a clone like Tyrone. So that's really me. I'm just trying to get my video thing set up. I don't want the show to stop because I want the momentum to continue, because we all be in it to win it. I want to thank everybody for being patient, for waiting for the return of Brother Ron. This is not the Brother Ron that you once knew. This is the new, improved, clone-free Brother Ron. You know, there's a lot of stuff happened this summer, man. I ain't gonna talk about it on this show. There'll be other shows for that. But one thing that happened is that, you know, you when you start recognizing your value, your vibration should increase, and things start looking different that was once normal to you ain't normal no more. Like my friend Baba Dick Gregory would say, once the universe put the magic glasses on you, you can't take them off. You can't make people see what you see. You just got to deal with it. And I'm dealing with it. So I want to thank everybody who's been checking in on me over the last couple of months, you know, phone calls, text messages, emails, Cash App donations. You could do that, you ScrewTube demonetized me or demonetized me, so they won't let me even make money off my content. Well, they're making money off my content for years, especially Dick Gregory stuff. And they really want to see me go. You know, it's funny. Dick actually prepared me for this. You know, I'm gonna talk about that on another show, but he talked about Trump's shadow. A lot of y'all got an issue with Donald Trump. I have no issue with Donald Trump. Matter of fact, I think Donald Trump is an American hero in his own right. I'm gonna talk about that on. I actually think he's Jack Johnson reincarnated. That's another story, but we'll talk about that on another show. But but Dick said he feared Trump's shadow. He wasn't talking about he feared the man. He was talking about he was fearing what's coming behind or after a Trump presidency. It's not necessarily Trump himself; it's what's coming behind. And now we're living in Trump's shadow, and it's just crazy right now. So it was good. I work as a janitor. I'm also the feeder. I'm the feeder and the cleaner. So I work as a janitor, and I happened upon these good men at their place of work. Some of them knew who I was. My reputation preceded me. You know, I was vacuuming their rooms and cubicles and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed listening in on their conversations, what they were talking about. And I think it was very relevant to what's going on today, and also to see men talk among themselves about these things. And it's like it was promoting brotherhood. But I remember like on Malcolm X's anniversary life affirmation day, I really was drawn to their conversation that day where they were talking about like anything, and they were being honest and vulnerable. And I believe vulnerability is actually a strength, it's not a weakness. And also they were saying things I think other people need to hear. So,
I created this platform to help amplify certain voices and messages that need to be heard by a wider audience. And I don't go by numbers. Numbers don't lie, but people and agendas do lie. But I know I have a effect of getting things out there for the people. So before I get started and introduce these great gentlemen, I just want to do a little bit more house cleaning. This disclaimer. This is very important because it helps us be free to be we, because we all be in it to win it. So I'm gonna read this disclaimer and we'll go from there. And thank you all for being very patient as I work through these tech difficulties. Hopefully you'll see my face in the place in real time this time, because now's the time. So let me read the disclaimer, right? Because I don't want to go. This is nobody. This the disclaimer. The views expressed by hosts and guests on the We All Be TV platform are not the official views, opinions, beliefs, or perspectives of We All Be News or the We All Be Group Incorporated. We All Be News is an organization that thoroughly believes in supplementing the information narrative that is usually supplied by the corporate news entities with those viewpoints and expressions which may be marginalized or ignored for a plethora of reasons. We are about informing the general public on alternative perspectives as it relates to news and information, and letting the general public be the ultimate judge in deciding on how to use said information. Informed citizens are responsible citizens. Thank you for your support. So without further ado, let me introduce these gentlemen, and we call this the We All Be Brothers. This is session 1 of hopefully more to come. And thank you for their patience, but try to introduce these good brothers. Brother Tante, how you doing today?
Doing good, Ron. Doing good. Thank
you. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm sorry. Thank you for being patient, man. My computer is like it's possessed by a demon. But it's not here. I'm trying to get my video back on. I'm glad my audio works. You're doing great. Thank you for having the patience and being on the show today.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
We got another good brother here. Let me get it. Brother Cruz, can you hear us? Brother Cruz.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm having difficulty with my camera right now.
Yeah, it's Mercury retrograde.
My mic was working fine.
Yeah, Mercury retrograde. I've got the same problem. Like, I don't know if people know Mercury retrograde is. Take a look. It's all online. Just Google that thing. And last but certainly not least, this is I'm looking forward. This is one and only brother David. How you doing?
Hey, brother Ron.
It's about time, man.
All right.
It's good to have all you fellas on here. I really enjoy y'all conversations about it. I just like I said, y'all asked me, what can we talk about? We can talk about anything y'all want to talk about. I just want people to hear y'all points of views and stuff, because I think it's very important that men have a say right now. That men stand up and be counted. Because I think it's very important to hear from a male or a man perspective on things that's going on today. So, and also from people that have unique points of views that need to be heard and amplified. So, fellas, what's on the agenda today?
Go ahead, David.
Go
ahead, David. What you want to talk about? What you want to talk about?
Brother Ron, I don't know where to start at. But as far as I'm getting feedback. Is it me?
You got, you know what? You got another thing open. I don't know, like maybe like a.
Oh, okay.
Let me get that from the studio. Maybe that help. All right, you, brother David. How it sound now? You mute. Let me see. I'll unmute you. You muted. Can you unmute yourself, brother David?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
No problem.
Oh, wow, brother Ron, man. I don't know what to start at, man. I don't know what to start at, honestly. I think there's a lot of things going on, man. I like to deal with local things first, because see, I try to reach around the globe, but I can't reach around my own city. So I look at, man, that some of the things that happen right here in the city, the crime, the violence, it's like our public leaders, so-called leaders, man. I don't believe in we need a leader. I don't believe in that. To me, man, that's a social programming that I don't buy into. I'm the leader of myself, my own household. That's what leadership should start at. I don't need a mayor, a congressman, or governor, whoever, man, to tell me how to govern my household, how to run my household. I think, man, leadership should start with me in my household, and me leading and guiding my family. But I think right now, man, crime has gotten so bad in the city, and they don't know what to do. They got no clue to what to do. We got rogue policemen, rogue law enforcement. We got rogue government officials. So it's like, man, things are chaotic to me, and people are enjoying it. I mean, like I said, man, I don't know what to start at, man. Give me something to start with, man, and I can stick to that. But right now, man, I'm all over the place because there's so much going on in this city, in this country. But right here locally, what I want to deal with first, man, is what's happening in Memphis. People don't care no more. People just don't care. People got no respect. People just don't care, don't have any respect for one another, any respect for their neighbors. You got trash all around the highway. You got bumpers, mattresses all on the highway. What's going on, man? What's going on? And so it's like people are becoming numb to it, desensitized. And so it's like, I know other cities have their problems and everything. And we see that stuff going on in Philadelphia. All the people drugged out of L.A., everybody homeless, I mean, it's all over the place, man. And what it's gonna take to get things, as we want to say normal, back to normal.
That's right. I would say, me personally, I would say, a lot of dads are missing out of the home. When I look at what the kids are doing, can you hear me, Ron? Can you hear me pretty good?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. When you look at what I'm just gonna say, a lot of the young men are doing. You're looking at what a lot of the young men are doing. The crime. That is the outcome of not having a male in the home. When you look at most men are not there. They're on child support. And then you look at a lot of the men that's in the homes trying to discipline their sons. You got a lot of people that are against that. Even maybe a person that you're staying with. When you're trying to discipline your son, there's a disconnect in what they should be doing in between the man and the woman. And so when you have those type of things going on, what do you expect out of a child, a young man, other than crime? When a person would rather have child support than that man in the house disciplining him. You know what I mean? So when I look at the young men, man, I'm more like, man, they are a product of what they come from, man. That's the formula for a criminal. No dad.
That's right.
No discipline. They just doing what they what their home is set up around, and so you can't really knock them. It's like we got to go back to a strong mother and a strong dad in the house, and even if they don't make it, there should be some understanding about the kids and the discipline. Because, like, for me, man, my kids are the most important thing in the world to me, and so that's just adding to what David said. The crime is bad and it needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, and going back to what you and Dave were saying, there, Tante, we're letting the school system raise our kids.
Yes, sir.
And the school system is broken.
Sir.
We're letting these, how the modern word is woke. We're letting these woke teachers raise our kids instead of us raising our kids and disciplining them. We didn't have that stuff back when we were young, because the men were raising the kids.
That's right. That's right. And then too, there are so many things to this. There are so many dynamics to this problem that we're facing. You look at, not to be knocking anybody in particular, in an organization or church in particular, but the church got a role to play in this too. The church has a significant role because the church has the largest platform. We go to church on Sundays. Well, all throughout the week we go to church. Different churches got different times they schedule their program, but the churches are failing the people as well. It's like preachers got a platform, man. You know, I mean, you know, you ain't gotta try to preach on the same script that everybody else is preaching on. Man, you gotta preach a dynamic, a plethora of things. You gotta preach financial. You gotta preach social. You gotta preach, yeah, religious, of course. You gotta preach politics, politics, political. You gotta tell people, hey, you gotta tell people this right here. If that politician, man, is not giving your community what he's supposed to be up there in Nashville or Washington or down at City Hall or county government, getting for your community or for your district, then they don't need to be back in there no more. Get them out. Then politicians is what? Most of them is out for themselves. 99% of them are out for themselves. So you tell me that you're going to represent me and my community and the platform that you ran on, and then you get there and do nothing. And just like, what's the governor's name here in Tennessee? What's the governor's name?
Lee.
What's the governor's name, y'all? Lee. Lee went and proposed a bill to put guns in 18-year-old hands. You know, man, come on. Because you're 18, you can carry a gun. You have to have no license, no formal training or any of that. You know, I know I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit, but you go and pass a law like that, and then you want me to vote for you again? I mean, he knew what was going to happen when he passed that law. Who was it going to affect disproportionately? Who's affected by that same law right now disproportionately? You got young guys walking down here on Bill Street, 10, 12 young guys, all unpacking and exposing. Come on, man. What is this? Dodge City?
Right.
You know, it's crazy how we sit back, our so-called wannabe leaders, and don't say nothing. The problem is, I feel like we got too many damn good peoples in this city who ain't saying nothing. That's the problem. I feel like that's the problem right there.
All right.
It's a serious problem.
That's right.
Too many good people not saying nothing. Well, I don't want to get involved in that. I don't want to be a part of somebody going to jail or somebody doing time. Do the crime, do the time.
Yeah, but like you said, going back to also you were saying some of the church leaders, they don't want to lose that 501c3. They don't want to lose. They're scared to lose that money, so they don't want to go against the grain.
Exactly. Crew, you hit the nail on the head, man. I mean, it's all about money. For a lot of preachers, it's all about money. It's all about keeping the tithes and offering coming in. And first of all, show me in the Bible where it talks about paying tithes in the New Testament. Any one of you preachers out there want to call me up? I know God loves a cheerful giver. I know all that. That ain't got nothing to do with paying no tithe. That's got to do with helping the post saint at Jerusalem when Paul made that statement. So say what you want to say. Let's go word for word, scripture for scripture, precept upon precept, line upon line. Let's talk, buddy. When you hear this message, let's talk. If you disagree with it, I ain't got no problem challenging you. But it ain't about challenging. It's about doing what's right. Because, man, our kids, our grandkids, man, our legacy, man, have to suffer what we didn't do or we ain't done. What's coming behind, man, it's scary, y'all. I don't want to talk too much, y'all, but one of y'all step in, man.
I mean, going back to like you were saying about the father being out of the house, you know, the story about the elephants in Africa. You remember you told me about that?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
That they killed all those male elephants for the tusk. So all the young elephants grew up with no leadership. And they started going rogue, destroying villages, killing people. They ended up having to bring some elephants from somewhere else. And as soon as those big elephants came back, the male, older elephants, they put order in the house. And everybody fell in line. And that's what needs to happen. We got to go back to the household and to stop all this baby's mama stuff. You know, all this nonsense about baby's mama. We're going to need husbands and wives back in the household.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. And then, Dave, like you were saying, David, I look at the guns, you know, we look at the gun laws and they're getting easier and easier. So, you know, basically to me, that's somebody saying that, hey, if it's causing more murders, keep easing the laws up so we can get more. To me, that's more like a just, man, you just look at it, man. Anybody with common sense knows if it's a lot of killing going on, we need to tighten up with the gun laws. But if they're not, what is that telling you about them, David? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, Tante,
It might
no,
be what they
Tante,
want. Go ahead.
and I agree with you, Tante. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But you know something? You
Yeah.
made me think about something, man. You said the last statement you made, what they doing, Tante, they setting us up, man. See, you let this crime run rampant. Let it run rampant. And then what do you do, man? Who was that? Who was that? Who was that? Who was that said one of those founding fathers, they call him. He said that a standing army, no, he said a central banking system is more dangerous to a country than a standing army. Now, the point that he was making, both of them are dangerous. A standing army and a central banking system. But think about it, man. A standing army has the ability to come in and wipe the population out. Okay, that's doing wrong. So what do they want by letting violence run rampant? They want to bring in martial law. You bring in martial law, now, man, local governments have no control. Military is the power and the might. And we know, man, what they got, or we know some of the stuff they got out there, right, that they can control the masses with. They have weapons, man, that will put you on your back without busting you open, without putting a bullet in you. They got weapons. They got weapons, man, to shut you up when they want to shut you up. And nobody know why you quiet. So man, what they want to do, they want to bring in martial law. They want to, man, take away any type of rights you got, civil rights. And they don't just apply to black folk, civilian rights. They want to take them away, man. They want total control of the people.
Yeah.
So, man, yeah, they're gonna let gun violence run rampant for the time being. To get so far gone, hey, we gotta stop it now. That was part of your plan all along.
Yeah.
Cause chaos so you can bring in a solution. And the solution was to give the people a false illusion that we're doing something grand to stop crime. No, you're losing your freedom. Who that said that that you, if you're willing to give up your freedom for temporary safety, then you don't deserve freedom. Don't deserve it. No, man, I don't want nothing temporary from the government. Because it means that I gotta give something great.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, well, you saw what happened with these this money they were given during COVID. They gave thousands of dollars per family, and now we gotta pay everything back with interest. You know, you see the gas going up, food going up, inflation going up, and like you were saying, somebody's making some money off of it because you just look at California. Why don't they fix the problem where they have with the homeless? Well, because now a whole bunch of agencies popped up in California that supposedly are for helping the homeless. They're making millions of dollars. So now that they're making all these millions of dollars, they don't want to help. They don't want to solve the problem, because if they solve the problem, the money goes away. Same thing like pharmaceutical companies. They don't cure you, because if they cure you, the money goes away. So we're gonna have a problem now with all this crime going on in the city, and they don't want to solve the problem.
Right. Now they don't want to solve the problem because you got dollars coming in. You got dollars coming in to pay for that, and then who knows who got somebody out there with a dummy company set up, but they are behind the dummy company. They name and whatever else don't never get exposed, but the money is being transacted into their accounts. It's just like we know that back here when the Gulf War kicked off, what's his name? Dick Cheney had a company called Halliburton. Man, you charge what was it? $78 or something like that, going back way back then. $78 per meal. If I got it right, if I remember it right, $78 per meal, man. Do that times 3. Do that times thousands of soldiers, man. How much money was then he the vice president? I forget what it's called, y'all. When you relinquish your control of your company while you sit in a political position, but your company is still ran by somebody else, still making money, off the government while you running the government. Man, what sense does that make? I mean, it makes good sense to those who making billions. But man, it's how Tante, man, going back to the Matrix scenario that we always talks about.
Right.
Man, people wake up. You in the Matrix. You asleep.
That's right.
While these folks are doing stuff right in our faces, right? And we think that because we got this grand illusion that we're part of the inclusion, we're not. We're being played. The lifeblood is being sucked out of us.
That's right.
But nearly 80% of what we earn go into taxes. 80%, nearly 80%. Well, do the math. All the taxes that we pay.
Yeah.
Man, we take home crumbs.
Yeah.
Well, people only think about the taxes you get from your paycheck. They don't look at
Yes, sir.
how many times that dollar gets taxed, 20, 30 times. You got to pay taxes on your mortgage, taxes on your property taxes. If you don't pay property taxes, then you take your house away. So that means you really never owned that house. You got to pay taxes on your car. Have a license, have a tags every year. Got to pay taxes on everything. So that dollar doesn't get taxed one time.
That's right, man.
Yeah, and then like you were saying, man. But what can we do locally? Like you were saying earlier, to take back our kids.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, man. Tante was saying something earlier that made a lot of sense, man. When you got, man, a lot of households, man. Yeah, their means there, but man, when it comes to my family, I ain't nothing but alpha. Don't bring no beta. Don't bring no beta to me, man. I ain't nothing but alpha. Cause man, when it comes to, man, protecting my family, providing for my family, I'm all alpha. I ain't, no, baby. Okay, I'll go ahead and do it for you this time. Okay, baby. No. Hey, I just said it. It stops right here. Because man, we all got sons and daughters. I got all sons. I know y'all got daughters too. But man, we're raising, man, men, women, husbands, wives, contributors to the community, man.
Yeah.
And we don't look at it like that, man. That, hey, man, we're supposed to be raising. Excuse me, y'all. Won't look too fast. We're supposed to be raising responsible human beings, man. Our legacy. What folks gonna say when they see your son, Tante, out there in the streets, Cool's son out there in the street, doing what they supposed to be doing as a man or a young man? Hey, man, Tante did a good job, man. Ron did a good job. Them brothers did a good job of raising their sons and their daughters. Hey, man, that's what I want my legacy to speak.
Right.
Yeah,
I think y'all feel the same way.
You're right, Dave. Like the other day, I was watching a video, and it was an Asian girl, and they were asking her about, how the girls from the West are different from the girls from, like Japan and Asia. And she was saying that she has to think about how is it going to affect her father if she does something? Is that going to bring shame to the family? Like you said, respect. And we don't have that anymore. We don't have that respect anymore where the kids think about, hey, if I do this, it's going to make my dad look bad.
Get some feedback.
Yeah, there's feedback on.
It's better now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, it's just, like you're saying, just we have to go back to these kids and teach them respect, teach them accountability, and how it should be,
Yeah. And I'll say two things to that, Cruz. Just like I look at a lot of kids, it's like a lot of them, everybody want to be wealthy, and when you talk about wealth, that's just a feeling, and I was gonna say that, as far as finances, one important thing for a lot of the young men to know is, hey man, if you you work on the job for a couple of years and establish you some good credit. If you can afford a house note that's 1,200, get a house that pay what a mortgage is 900 a month. Pay extra $200-300 on the principal, and then you can pay your house off 10 or 15 years later. And there's a lot of things about finances that a lot of these young men they don't understand, man. So I tell like any younger man to go online and look up some financial guides and learn finances, because if you don't know finances, how can you ever become wealthy? If your mindset, if you get $1 billion, if you're gonna spend it the next day, how are you gonna be wealthy? You have to learn a little bit about finances. And a lot of these kids out here are just the younger men. They just looking at riches, man, and they trying to get rich overnight when they don't even understand finances. And so they Dr. Claude Anderson, he's a good financial guy. And so they just need to start looking up some things about finances so they can start to get assets like homes and land. A lot of these clothes and stuff that a lot of younger guys are trying to get, they don't understand that is not wealth at all. And so that's a real big point as far as finances. And I'm gonna say one more thing is their whole idea of wealth is debt. Everybody want a $400,000 house and a $100,000 car. And man, that's basically being a slave to someone else. Not saying that if you can afford it, it's something bad, but if every dollar you got is going to be spent on those things, you're really not wealthy, man. You're in poverty in a big home. And so it's a lot of finances need to be taught to a lot of the younger guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tante, if I can step in, Tante, man, I'm sorry about cutting you out, man. Man, you hit the nail on the head, man. A lot of these young kids, man, I got 3 sons, man. All 3 of my sons are different in character. All 3 of them is totally different. And I got one man that want to stick it out, man, and ride the storm, man, and do what he's supposed to do, take care of his responsibility. I got another one, man. He want to get rich, every get rich scheme come along. He want to ride it. And another one, man, patient, take his time, do what he's supposed to do, man, and save money, and understand the value of money. In our household, man, being black and brown, our household, man, a lot of things, man, we weren't taught about money, man. Our parents, well, you and Cruz, y'all probably not young enough, man. I remember, man, when man, it was 12 children in the house. 12 children in the house, and man, you had 1 chicken, a bag of rice, cornbread, man. All them kids had to eat.
Mhm.
How did it? How was it? Hey, man, it's just like, man, Jesus and the 2 fish and the 5 loaves. All of us ate. All of us got full. Like now, man, man, people catching hell, man, going from paycheck to paycheck.
Mm.
It's the working poor, man. You got a lot of people right there where we work at that are homeless, man. They coming to work every day. We don't know it. They ain't telling us. We've been around some of these people, how we see how they catching it. But man, man, it's just so much, man. We got enough time to run and talk about all this stuff today. We're gonna save some for later.
I mean, it's session number 1. We can always come back
Okay,
so much
yeah,
the topic.
yeah. But man,
the
our
system
kids.
I would say the system is very narcissistic in how it treats people. So people, I encounter a lot of narcissists in my lifetime. I didn't know they were narcissists until this summer, but that's another story. But this system, it thrives off of destroying people. Like I look at this as like wars are nothing but blood sacrifices. Like even like how they treat us in terms of our food, like the Food and Drug Administration, they approve food that make you sick, and they also approve drugs that make you even sicker. So everything you do is a trap. Everything is a trap. It's like They don't want, like I look at, like even with the crime situation in Memphis, law enforcement controls crime. Organized crime is really law enforcement. Malcolm X said it in the speech. Anywhere where there's a lot of police, there's a lot of crime. And like I remember one of my favorite teachers, Dr. Duncan in high school. I don't never forget what he told me. He said he had a friend. His lifelong ambition was to be a part of the drug, enforcement agency, whatever, DEA. He said the first day his friend went on the job, he saw what they was really doing. He quit. He thought it was about white hats and black hats and stuff, but it's like Alonzo Harris, Denzel character in Training Day. And what you know is what you can prove. And sometimes you gotta be the sheep being a wolf. So my thing is this: they love the dysfunction. They thrive off of it. And this has been 60 years in the making, as far as I'm concerned. You look at, they just got through celebrating the farce on Washington. Was at the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington. Why are you celebrating that? You look at what we had 60 years ago. You had black men, hetero black males, black men in leadership positions. Whether you agree with them or not, you had Dr. King, Southern Christian Leadership Conference. You had Whitney Young, the National Urban League, James Farmer, head of CORE. You even had John Lewis, head of SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. A. Philip Randolph, Brotherhood Sleeping Car Porters. Adam Clayton Powell Jr., probably the greatest congressperson we ever sent to Congress from Black America. He really got the job done. We don't talk about him because they erased him from the history. But you had a lot of masculine, even Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm, you had a lot of masculine energy around. Now you can't even find a black man with some backbone and some big ones to swing in any so-called position to affect policy at any level. You got a city like Memphis, you got a lot of people, they look the part, but they don't know how to be the part. They don't know how to really be what it takes to do that. So, I mean, it's all about design. You don't want men, and particularly black men around, that's going to command respect and attention, and it's going to get the job done, because we make the mistake in saying politicians are the leaders. No, whoever put them in that position, whoever write those checks that don't bounce, whoever put them in that position, they are the leaders. They control the agenda. They just puppets attached to a string. Because you look at how we even process progress. The March on Washington in '63 was about raising minimum wage. Minimum wage still ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Minimum wage should be close to $30 or even $30 plus an hour. That's what minimum wage should be with inflation and stuff like that. So we don't even know how to fight. We don't know how to be strategic. We don't know what the objectives are. We're not good students in history, because to me, if you want to celebrate something with black folks in Washington, why not celebrate when black folks stood up against the government back in 1919? In the Red Summer, we had black teachers and black veterans fighting against white Marines and Army and Navy folk, fighting against Woodrow Wilson's White House. We had black folks getting lynched in the streets of D.C. proper, and black folks said enough was enough. They started sniping white folks and cops and soldiers and stuff from streets. They started doing drive-bys. They started doing a lot of stuff to defend themselves, and Woodrow Wilson said, time out. Where's the movie about that? They always talk about black folks catching hell. They always talk about Emmett Till and all this stuff. What about movies about when black folks fought back and stood for something? What about those black soldiers down in Houston back in 1917 of August, the 24th Regiment of Infantry, Buffalo Soldiers? They stormed on Houston after they got disrespected by the Houston Police Department. After they beat up on a black woman in Houston proper, them black men took them guns from Camp Logan and they shot up in Houston, Texas. And it was the largest murder trial in U.S. history, but it was a farce because they were denied their civil liberties during the trial. They were not properly legally represented during the trial. They was accused of mutiny. They took their oath to protect the United States against enemies, both foreign and domestic, and they did the job. And we don't even remember these people, man. These were men.
Yep.
You know, people talking about, I don't want to be my ancestors. You can't even carry your ancestors' drawers. You ain't your ancestors because you're a bunch of cowards. Because if we didn't have ancestors like that, we won't be talking right now today. I'm talking about black men who fought for everybody to have the right to vote, and yet black men get affirmative jail time, affirmative disrespect in this system. It's time out for that, because America will never be what it can be unless do right by the black man. That's period.
And Ron, you know why? And Ron, you know why America's afraid of that? Why America puts the spooks by the door, you know, and it Uncle Tom wasn't no bad guy.
No, he was a hero. Yeah, go ahead.
He was a hero.
Right.
It's that spook that sits by the door who you ought to be conscious of. Cause see, he's the one that running back telling everything. He the one that coming in there infiltrating, right? And he's the provocateur. He's the provocateur. He's the one throwing the rock, getting the crowd all stirred up. Once the crowd gets stirred up, he just ease on back out of the way. See, he's the provocateur. Just like down there in 1967 on Beale Street, when Dr. King came to town, right? The last time before his death, they put provocateurs in the crowd to stir the crowd up. So that's why Dr. King didn't want to come back the last time in which he was murdered here. But man, the reason why Ron that a strong black man, a strong man in the family is dangerous, because man, he'll stand up against man what's wrong or what's attacking his family. And then what happened, man, is that strong men breed other strong men. That's why, man, in the school system, man, years ago, coming up back in the early 70s, man, late 60s, early 70s, man, elementary school, junior high school, man, we had a plethora of men walking the hallway. We had a plethora of men, man, teaching the classes, man. Hey, take that hat off, boy. Hey, boy, leave that girl alone, go to class. And you want to turn around and say, who you talking to? Oh, no. You got dropped, Tante. You got dropped, man. And so, man, so even me,
please, baby.
Even me back then, I thought I was tough, man. I thought I was tough. Yeah, I had a little chip on my shoulder because I used to stutter real bad, and people teased me and taunted me. Man, I was mean as Mike Tyson, man. I was mean. But I knew when somebody told me, go to class, boy, shut your mouth up. Hey, man, okay, all right. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't that tough.
Yeah,
I knew to keep my mouth shut.
You try and do that now, David. You probably have the parents trying. I think you try and do that now. You probably have the parents trying to be the teacher for.
Oh man, yeah. I better not go home and say my teachers. Man, one time I was in the fifth, sixth grade. Never forget it, man. Never forget it. Man, we was changing classes. I was coming out of history, going to math. I don't want to call this kid's name. He was coming out of math, going to history. And so walked in the bathroom. He asked me, he said, Dave Wright, I bet you don't know what 17 times 19 is. Show you how honorary I was. He said, bet you don't know what 17 times 19 is. I said, no, I may not know what 17 times 19 is, but I know this right here. So run. I hit the guy, man. Make a long story short, hit the guy. Knocked him out in the urinal. We had about 4 units laying upside one another, right? I hit him and knocked him out. Went to the sink, washed my hand, went in the classroom and sat down. He lying there knocked out, man. Boy come in the room, snitch on me. Told the teacher that I had knocked the boy out and everything. She went and got some help, man. Came back about 5 or 6 of them, man. And they beat me down. all the teachers beat me down, man. You think I went home to tell my mom and dad what happened?
Dave, you say you had a studying problem. You had a studying problem.
Yeah.
You messed with the wrong guy with you, Dave.
Yeah. You think I went home to tell my mom and dad that the teachers beat me up? Man, no. I would have got beat down again. I wasn't telling nothing. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, like who would say, man, the parents come up to the school now. The kids don't even talk decent to you, Mom. What, Mom? Yeah. What? On the phone with his friend's phone she bought. Man, I go in that man. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all.
Else, that discipline, something else, ain't it, Dave? I told you, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, look.
Yes, sir.
Hey, look, I used to be scared of my mama, man. I thought, you would think it'd be the daddy, but man, sometimes, man, my mama used to just walk out the bedroom. Man, I used to think I'm finna get a whooping, Dave. I'd be scared. And she just be going to the bedroom to take a nap, because when she used to whoop me, Dave, she'll walk out quiet, and I hear the belt coming back in, man. It's just the belt buckle, just swinging, man. So a lot of times she walk out the room, Dave, I think I'm finna get a whooping, man. but my point is, what you were saying, David, is the respect. And when I did wrong, hey, David, I had to pay, man.
Yes, sir.
And look,
yes, sir, man.
My mama, Cause look, my daddy, he was just cool, man. But look, my daddy take care of me, man. So
Yeah,
I try to
man.
do the same for my kids, man.
Right. But you know something, no something, man. I don't mean to be trying to take up all the time.
Okay.
Man, I think one of the greatest atrocities, man, that happened to us, no matter who you are, man, no race intended, is that we do what our parents did to us, to our kids. I tell my son now, man, hey man, don't holler at her like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's my princess, man. My little granddaughter,
Your
them
grandbaby.
boys, he can get them boys. Your grandbaby, yeah. Man, get them boys, man. But you talk to her like she a young. No, how? Like we talk about Charleston White.
Mm-hmm.
How Charleston White go into the character he goes into to get people's attention.
Right.
And so, same thing, man, our parents did, man. They talk to us like, get your so-and-so in there, sit down right now. Hard-headed so-and-so. No, man. You enforce it, man, for them to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't helping them. You ain't helping them. Man, from walking and talking all the way up to 9, 10 years old is the most how you put it, informative time of a child's life.
Mm-hmm.
The most informative time. And we were talking about when you were showing about the Excel program, about formatting, getting stuff set up to receive, a certain command and all that.
Right.
We, man, set our kids up in a messed up environment, man. Same stuff our parents taught us. Where they get it from? Where they get it? Come here, boy. Get somewhere and sit down, boy. I mean, no respect. Come here, son. Sit down right here. Let me talk to you. Come here, baby. Let me talk to you for a minute. Daddy love you, girl. So, man, we pass this same stuff down from what our parents got, man, when they got off that ship. When they got off them ships, man, how they got treated in the Caribbeans before they came to the Americas,
Mm-hmm.
how they was lynched, raped, sodomized, and everything, man. When they say bug breaking, y'all understand what bug breaking mean, man?
No.
Do y'all understand what bug breaking mean?
Nope.
When you break a buck, that
Mm-hmm.
means that, man, they took the biggest, the baddest, most formidable looking man. He didn't have to have done nothing. He was big, he was bad looking, he was formidable. Took him and multiply raped him in front of everybody. Right. Said, if y'all act up, y'all getting the same thing. That's called breaking the buck. It's called buck breaking.
Okay.
And the same thing is happening today. The same thing, man, they just doing it in a different way.
Right.
Striking fear in people, man.
Right.
Anytime somebody rise up, man, to inform the masses, hey, man, they killing us, man. They feeding us poison food.
Right.
They giving us wrong information.
Right. Fake food.
Fake food.
Yeah.
Fake
right,
economical information, man. Fake economic information. If you put your money, you pay your bills on time, your credit gonna improve. Pay the bill every month, man. Ain't got no debt. Why don't I have an 800? What's up with this right here? It's all, man, giving you a grand illusion, man, that you included, but you're not. All the redlining of our community. Oh, man, you ain't got a red land no more. Man, they still red land, but red land ain't the factor no more. And let you move wherever you want to move.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, all over town, man, we see the same scenario, man.
Yeah.
Man, it's a lot, man. It's a lot going on, y'all.
It speaks to what you talking about, the grand illusion. I was thinking about when they knocked down the projects in Memphis back in the day, and how he moved folks out east, and Hickory Hill became Hickory Hood. What people don't understand is a project is behavior modification, it's mind control, it's processing and programming. If you never deprogram or rebooted or recalibrated my mind, everywhere I go, I'm gonna make a ghetto. I'm gonna have a poverty mindset. I'm gonna project that reality from my mind. Your reality comes from your imagination, from your mindset, from your mentality. It doesn't. You manifest your reality. We got like 8 billion people on the planet with different beings, 8 billion plus different versions of reality.
That's right.
We intersect in certain places, but everybody's on some other stuff, man. It's really interesting to think about what the expectations people have for certain things. Like, we don't even understand, like, politics. They don't teach civics. They don't teach home ec and stuff like that, vocational stuff no more.
Not anymore.
Yeah, you know, you
Not
remember
anymore.
when the Civil War ended, the most skilled labor force in the country was former slaves. They
Former
started
slaves,
unions
man.
to keep black folks from being gainfully employed. That's why unions were started, to keep black folks from having work.
Right. That's why a lot of police forces were started.
Mm.
Hey, Ron. It was interesting that you said something, man.
Okay.
A minute ago about projects, man. It was this white guy, man. A great man. He's no longer with us now. Great man, man. His name was John the Bull Bramlett out of Memphis. He's legendary here in Memphis, man. He played football at the University of Memphis, a linebacker, inside linebacker, and he played for the Denver Broncos. And he introduced me, man, to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes back in 1981. And we was riding to his house one Wednesday night. One weeknight. We was riding to his house for a Bible study. And he shared a story with me, man. He said that there was a project done back in the day, back in the 40s or 30s or whatever it was, and by German scientists. They took about 10 rats, put them in a space big enough for 100 rats, gave them enough food on a daily basis, enough for 100 rats, right? And so you know how fast rats populate. And so as the rats began to populate, man, you know, after a while, they still had enough food, still had enough space, right? They kept on populating, man, quickly. They started populating more and more. And so it became a rat race for food and for shelter. And so what happened, man, over a period of time, the rats started feeding on one another. They started feeding off each other. They kept on putting the food in. The space did not increase, or the food didn't increase, but the rats, man, started feeding off each other. So when you gather people, when you stack people in an environment like that, man, and you don't have sufficient resources, what do, man?
Yeah.
What do they do?
What the rats did.
You're right. Yeah, that's deep.
Hey, man, I rest my case, man. Hey, man, this man.
No, I was gonna say, going back to those projects you were talking about earlier. Do you know what happened to those projects? Right?
Yes, sir.
They became high-rise apartments for like $1,600 now.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
yes, sir.
Yeah, you're right about that, man.
Hey, man, but like you know, what's that, Cruz?
No, go ahead, Dave.
No. Yeah. So man. When you start waking people up, like Tante said something earlier, and I thought about you brought up Dr. Clark Anderson, right?
Yeah.
Man, I like to listen to this brother named Dennis Kimbrough. He's a sharp brother. He's the foremost expert on black wealth in America. And
what's his name?
During Martin, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough.
Okay.
Dennis Kimbrough.
Okay.
And another guy by the name of George Fraser. George Fraser. Yeah, George Fraser. And two of the foremost brothers, man, on black. Dennis Kimbrough is the foremost on black economic wealth in America. During Dr. King time, there was only 5 millionaires, man, in America. 5 black millionaires in America. Only 5. How many black millionaires do you think we got now? Man, we got over nearly 50 million black millionaires in America. The pandemic itself, man, brought about tens of thousands. The pandemic. Because, man, think about it. I know somebody, both of them military. She was a captain. He was a sergeant major of the Army. And he lived in he had a house in Texas. She had a house in Arlington, Virginia. She sold her house for $1.4 million. Moved in with him down here in Richardson, Texas. Got married, and she moved in with him in Richardson, Texas. Sold her house in Arlington, Virginia for $1.4 million. This is somebody that I know. Show you how the pandemic made a lot of millionaires, man, black and white, all races. So man, you got almost 40-some thousand black millionaires. What had that done for for the community. What? What, man? What, man? In 19 post civil rights movement, man, we live where? Primarily where? Amongst ourselves, with ourselves. We bartered and traded with ourselves for the most part. Yeah, you had a few Asian stores in the neighborhood, white stores in the neighborhood, but we was galvanized, man, way more than we are now. Man, I have a dream, man. I hope I don't get myself in trouble for saying this right here.
Boy, do we got to do?
Oh, here we go. Don't hey,
Man,
hey, you remember his disclaimer
that
now, David? He read a disclaimer. It's
I did
exactly
just
man,
wait, but
that-
no, you
say.
wrong. It's on
man,
you,
Don't
man.
forget,
man, hey,
Represent
man.
yourself. That's good.
Lord know, man. Lord know, man. Lord know, man. I love Dr. King, man.
Yeah.
But when I came of age and realized, man, I used to realize why a lot of black preachers, right, a lot of black ministers or whatever, didn't like Dr. King. That wasn't their dream, man. That wasn't our dream. We didn't want to run to the suburb, even though I live in the suburbs now. We didn't want to run to the suburb. We didn't want to get away from our people. He was one who was told by his grandmama that he couldn't play with them little white kids. No, you want to sit down at the brotherhood of sit down with them, man, and break bread and all that. No, man, get my head busted to go sit in there and eat a diner where the food wasn't no good. Come on, man. You think I'd rather go to some back then? I wanted to go. I would have wanted to go to some diner out of East Memphis than to sit down in one of them holiday houses. Oh man, the food was greasy, but it was good. Man, the food was good and greasy, but it was good. It had taste to it. But we thought, man, they water was colder.
Yeah.
You know, come on. We thought their ice was colder. Both ices is 32 degrees. Both of them froze at 32.
Right.
So what makes yours colder than mine? Man, equal but separate, separate but equal. I mean, equal but separate. Y'all remember the 64 experiment that was done? About now was 64, but before then. What was the brother's name, man? Became Thurgood Marshall and H. Ralph Brown them. Done the separate but equal examination on little black kids. You got two Barbie dolls. One just black and one just pink. Because they ain't white, it's pink. And you ask the kids which one is pretty, which one is ugly. The dolls look just like Tante.
I hear you.
They said the black one is ugly. Man, it proved the fact that they program you good enough to hate yourself.
That's right. That's right.
Man, we hate ourselves, man.
Right.
Hate ourselves, man.
Yeah.
I mean, man.
That's about that, man.
A hell of a job been done, man. My head off to him, man.
I'll tell you this. I want to say this story because I think I'm glad you brought these points up because, see, we don't know our history. We got to be students in history. We want a better future for ourselves. You got to learn what happened before, what didn't work. It's a cat named S.B. Fuller. Speaking of millionaires, S.B. Fuller was the wealthiest black man back in King's Day. This back in the 50s, whatever.
They call him the Black Titan.
Right. Here's the thing.
He was called the Black Titan.
A.G. Gaston, who was the wealthiest black man.
Gaston. A.G. Gaston. Gaston was the Black Titan. That was A.G.
Yeah, but he was the wealthiest black man in Alabama, and S.B. Fuller was because the wealthiest black person in America at one point.
Yeah.
Full of products.
Yeah.
But they came to Dr. King about the Montgomery bus boycott, because this bus boycott was really, to me, the greatest achievements of the so-called civil rights movement came when black folks worked with each other, not when white college students came from up north to down south. When black folks was on the same page with them. I'm talking about black man, woman, and child. And they had a 381 straight day bus boycott in Montgomery. And it brought the city to its knees. And the thing about it is A.G. Gaston, who supported Dr. King, when Dr. King needed to get bailed out in them jails, they went to A.G. Gaston. They stayed at his hotels in Alabama. S.B. Fuller was a supporter. But they came to Dr. King and said, look, Dr. King, Montgomery wanted to sell this bus company. And Dr. King was no businessman. They had no business going to Dr. King. He's a spiritual leader, moral leader, but he was the businessman. They said the bus company is losing money and willing to sell. We should buy it. But King was skeptical of the idea, and not enough African-American people came forward to raise the money. See, like Magic Johnson spoke at a Greater Temple thing when they honored him at the Civil Rights Museum. It was him and Dr. John Hope Franklin and other people. he said something that was very powerful that I never forgot. He said, we have more millionaires today than we had in 1960, but we had more black businesses in 1960 than we do today. See, like, people don't understand. You look at Dr. King's last speech, which is not that far from where I'm speaking right now. He talked about supporting black businesses at the end, support black insurance companies, black banks, boycott Wonder Bread, Heart Bread, Coca-Cola, places they'll take your money, won't give you a job. Why you can't? What good is it to integrate a hamburger stand if you can't afford a hamburger? He came around after 12, 13 years, but you know, like he realized we integrated into a burning house, right? So we don't even learn those history lessons. We don't. How many people mention S.B. Fuller? And I remember Reverend Wright, and I'm gonna close it up. He came to Memphis April 3rd, 2009, and spoke at the University of Memphis. They had all this security because of what he said that was taken out of context. Reverend Wright, who was a minister from Chicago, Obama's minister, he said when Dr. King got killed in Memphis, a lot of prominent black preachers in Chicago celebrated with the congregation. You know, they had Daddy King go to Montgomery to bring his boy back to Atlanta to be at Ebenezer. And Daddy King years later said he glad his son stood his ground, that he didn't go back with him to Atlanta. But the thing about it is, a lot of people think Dr. King's name was really Michael. And that's another story.
Michael King.
His folks, his
name was changed.
They always called him Michael King. He was Michael.
Yeah, his name was changed. His name was changed at age 7. He was 7 years old. His daddy changed his name after.
But they still call him Michael though. His inner circle still call him Michael, which is his sister just died. They still call him Michael. So that's something to even think about. And that makes sense. He's a Michael because Michaels are usually unique people. Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson birthday coming up August 29th. All Michaels are interesting people. It makes sense that Dr. King was a Michael originally. Right.
Because his dad changed his name and changed Martin's name also too, in commemoration, in honoring Martin Luther,
right,
the Protestant who went against the Catholic Church, but
Reformation.
But right. But I had a thought on my man. It slipped my mind. My man had a train wreck, man. But I can't think of what I wanted to say. But you're right, man. He did have a name change. A lot of people don't know that his name was changed. You know, his daddy changed his name by him being a junior. His name was changed also. But Martin had a lot of people around him. When he told Harry Belafonte that I believe that I have laid us into a burning building, Martin knew then that was the wrong approach. The right approach was, man, go to the UN. The approach that he should have taken was go to the UN. Going to the United States government, didn't get him nothing. It didn't get him nothing. You know, the UN was a place to go to appeal your world grievances against your country. It's like going to the district attorney office, right, against internal affairs against the police. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Come on. You coming to me? Come on. Now I know Tante. He's a good guy. He ain't done that. I'll look into it, but I'll get back with you. It never get looked into.
Yeah. Right.
But the UN, man, hey, man, they govern the countries that fall up under them. So he realized that we've been doing this thing all wrong. And another thing I learned, that he didn't write none of his speeches, man. He didn't write none of that stuff. It was being written for him. What was that guy name? I can't call the guy name. Can't call the guy name who wrote the speeches and stuff. When we start looking into this stuff, we realize, hey, man, there's a lot of stuff went on, man, hey, man, I can't believe that. But it's real. It is what it is, man. No, we live in a crazy government, man. We live in a crazy society, man. What look right is wrong. What's wrong look right.
Yeah.
And the word of God tells us that.
Yeah, but Malcolm did try to bring the United States up on charges before the United Nations. They killed him. And Dr. King, people got to understand with Dr. King, he was accused of plagiarism, all that stuff. But I actually interviewed his lawyer, Clarence Jones. He was a speechwriter for Dr. King. He helped write some of Dr. King's speeches. He's a black man. But the thing about it is, the world's a stage. Everybody's acting. Everybody's an actor. We all actors, man. We all got a script. We all
Man,
got a role. The Rock said, know your role. See, the thing about our government is a wicked beast. The gun that killed Dr. King came from the FBI. That's not to be disputed or debated. That's fact. The gun came from the FBI.
you
When
know he
Tupac
down
got killed in Vegas or got shot down in Vegas, the FBI was there. The feds is watching. The feds are always there. They're a part of it. See, when they talk about bringing up Trump on RICO charges, you need to bring the CIA and the FBI up on RICO charges. Because they break their own laws to get you breaking the law, to get you entrapped. Like they try to do Marion Barry. People talking about the bitch set them up. She did set them up. She was an agent. But Marion Barry did a lot of good for the people. And if people don't even talk about that, they want to call him a crackhead. But Marion Barry empowered black people. He made a black middle class, a black business class in D.C. He made sure that black folks that looked like you and I and all of us had jobs in federal government. They had business contracts, subcontracts, and stuff like that. He made sure that kids had jobs in the summer. And didn't care if you was rich, white, broke, or poor. Every kid that wanted to work had a job in the summer. They able so many kids to be the first people to go to college in their family. See, we don't even understand the power of talking up on our people. When I talk about S.B. Fuller and A.G. Gaston, these supposed to be household names. When I talk about Dr. T.M. Howard, who was the wealthiest black man in Mississippi and a medical doctor, who helped train Medgar Evers and his brother Charles Evers, who helped finance the original investigation to the Emmett Till murder. It wasn't the government that did that. It was Dr. Howard from Mound Bayou that did that. He got ran out the state of Mississippi. We don't talk about people like him. He was one of the first black leaders to raise money for Malcolm X's family. He was the guy that gave Jesse Jackson the seed money and started his own organization in his mansion on the south side of Chicago. See, we got to start all this begging and pandering and crap and get down to the nuts and bolts of the situation. These were strong black men. These were family men, black men that did this. There wasn't no white liberal that did this. This was no government that did that. I was friends with Dick Gregory. He passed on August 19th. I can't believe it's been 6 years. When the government shut down the assistance to the poor black folks in Greenwood, Mississippi. This is after Medgar got killed. This is back in the fall of '63. The government cut out the food stamps for black folks in Mississippi. Dick chartered his own plane, raised money for food and supplies, and brought the plane down to Mississippi by himself to give supplies and food to black folks in the Mississippi Delta. That's a black man that did that. That wasn't the government that did that. That's why they don't want black men to have nothing. Because we don't need, we know how to manifest stuff. We forgot. See, we make the best soldiers. We wouldn't have fight for everybody but ourselves. Like Malcolm said, you bleed in Korea, but you won't bleed in Mississippi for your own people. You bleed in Korea, can't even spell the place where they put you in. Don't even know how to locate it on a map, but you bleed for everybody else but yourself.
Right.
That's a problem.
Like Muhammad Ali. He said, man, ain't no Viet Cong done nothing to me. Well, I want to go to Vietnam for. No, I mean, people ain't done nothing to me. You know, I've sat around guys, man, black and white guys alike. And they got so patronized, man. No, their thing was, man, when they were serving in the military, man, kill them all, let God sort them out. We're going like, man, really? Really? So man, you tell me that you drink the Kool-Aid then, huh? I mean, man, we drink the Kool-Aid. Kill them all, let God sort them out. I mean, come on, man, who talks like that?
Right.
But somebody that's been bamboozled.
That's right.
Hoodwinked, run amok. Yeah. Come on, man.
Hey,
man.
Dave's favorite words.
Dave. Was that Cruz?
Dave's favorite words.
Hey, look,
that's Malcolm X, man.
That's Malcolm X, question, Dave. I got one question. I guess this for all y'all. Okay, we've been waiting for 400 years for reparations, right?
Yeah.
What has the answer been for 400 years?
We ain't got it yet.
So what you think that? What does that make the answer?
You the answer. No. We the answer.
That's right.
Hey man, I got something I want to bring up, man.
The answer has been no consistently for 400 years. So you know, so going back to what Ron just said, man, that's our responsibility.
Hey, Don,
go ahead.
Get in line. We go first.
Hey, okay, Cruz.
Hey,
Okay, Cruz.
hey,
Hey, look,
Native
look.
American. We go
Long as
first.
it's a lunch line, baby, we good.
hey, man, my thing,
Go ahead, speak to that, Cruz. Speak to that, Cruz. I know that
Yeah.
came from somewhere. Go ahead, Cruz.
No, I was
yes,
just messing
sir.
with Tante. I tell them, we go first. You know, they took our land first, Native Americans. We
yeah,
get
Native American, yeah.
They took y'all
That's,
first, huh,
that's
Cruz?
right.
Yeah.
Hey, Cruz,
Yeah.
get in line, huh?
Yeah.
Get in line, man. Hey, man, the land for having
Hey, Tante,
the land back there.
you see how they treated us?
Yeah, man.
Throw
Yeah,
us in the desert
yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know.
But let me say one thing, Cruz. You know, I hope I'm saying it right. The Hispanic. You know, y'all have pretty much. I just look at kind of y'all.
No.
Yeah.
Now, hold up.
What?
Native American, man. Native American who speaks Spanish.
Okay, who speaks Spanish? Okay, Native American. Y'all have maintained y'all family structure from what I see from the outside looking in. Would you say y'all kind of have stuck to y'all roots, with your family values and things like that?
Well, it's a little bit different than what happened, you know, with the African Americans. We they kind of when Spain took over, and they kind of integrate. So we actually ended up integrating with them, like marrying with them. So I got a Spanish and Native American blood.
Mm.
And when the whites had blacks under slavery, that never happened, you know, because they saw themselves as, you know, above you, or, you know, something like, you know, you were below them.
Okay.
And then the Hispanic community, well, I say Hispanic, it really is Native American, because Hispanic or Latino is not a race.
Okay.
You know,
Mhm.
so when that happened, it was more integrated into each other. You know, they married into the Spanish and the Native Americans, and that's where you get a lot of so-called Latinos. When I say so-called, is because Latinos is not a race, is a language. Same thing with Hispanics, is a language, not a race. But that never happened here. You know, they you know, one of the things that people don't know is why Texas was taken from like Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
The reason was the Spanish government at the time. It was not, Mexico wasn't a country yet, but the Spanish at the time they were having a lot of issues with the Apaches and Comanches in Texas doing raids. And the Apaches and Comanches never, you know, they never integrated, and they wanted to be by themselves, and they did raids. So they said, can we get some white settlers, and we'll accept them in Texas. We'll accept them coming into Texas, but they have to become citizens of Spain, or at the time it was already converted into Mexican citizens. They have to pay taxes. I think they also told them how to convert to Catholicism.
Mm.
And another thing they told them was they have to abolish slavery, because at the time in Mexico, slavery was already over with. And so they agreed to everything else, but they didn't
Get a
want to
little
agree
feedback. Are y'all hearing that?
Yeah.
Okay, they agreed to everything else except giving up the slaves.
Okay.
So when they didn't do that, the Spanish government went to take the land back because they didn't want to leave either. And then they decided to join the United States. It's like me inviting you to my house, and I give you the rules, and then you end up trying to take my house away. You know, hey, hold up, I'll let you come to my house, and then you want to take it away. So that's where it all happened. Okay. It was actually based because they were not wanting to give slavery up, and they were trying to secede Texas from Mexico and going into the United States.
Okay.
But that's just a real brief history of what happened there. But like I said, in other parts, like the Caribbean and Central and South America, Mexico, and even West in the U.S., you know, California, Texas, everywhere where the Spanish were, they integrated. You know, they mixed blood, you know, between the natives and the colonizers. And then, you know, people just starting to there was no division anymore. But here in the U.S., it never happened. So the whites still segregating blacks, and they didn't want to let go of slavery. And even after slavery was done, that mentality was still there, that I'm better than you. I don't want you. You know, you might be free, but you're not equal.
Right.
And then in Latin America, it was different. It was we're all one country now. You know, we're all one people now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that's interesting perspective, Brother Cruz, on that. You know, it's interesting because you start looking at the Confederacy during the Civil War. You look at the President Jefferson Davis, look at the second in command, Judah P. Benjamin, who was a former senator from Louisiana. They were married to women of color, mulattoes, light-skinned black people. Nathan Bedford Forrest, who had his statue here on Union Avenue taken down a couple years back and his burial remains removed from the street, he actually had a slave mistress who ran away from him and had his daughter down in Louisiana. His great-grandson, like 3 or 4 times removed, just passed away a couple years ago. His name was Douglas Turner Ward. He was one of the founders of the Negro Ensemble Company. This man's responsible for training some of the greatest black actors of the last 60 years. I'm talking about Denzel Washington, Angela Bassett, Morgan Freeman. Name Louis Gossett Jr. Name any black actor or actress from the last 60 years they helped train. This is Nathan Bedford Forrest's 4-time grandson removed. Albert Pike, who was the founder of the Klan, he was from Boston. He was a third degree Freemason. He actually lived in Memphis for a point back in the day when Nathan Bedford Forrest was around. He was a Confederate general. He's over the civilized tribes. So you had Native Americans that owned slaves. So he had a large name for him in Little Rock. So you had the 5 civilized tribes that owned slaves. Because, you know, recently, not that long ago in Oklahoma, it was a lawsuit of the descendants of the freemen who was a part of the nation, of the Cherokee Nation. They won a lawsuit that people don't talk about. That slavery thing is a wicked thing because it's so conflicting. It's so, like, you had black folks. It was Thomas Day. He was a famous black furniture maker in North Carolina. He owned slaves. And then you had like all this stuff going on because you even had Pico. I believe he was the first governor of Mexico. He was a black Mexican. See, probably don't know that L.A., a lot of Los Angeles, black folks own a lot of land in Los Angeles back in the day. Yeah, a black Mormon sister that owned land. Black folks being here, we Native Americans too, though. I'm trying to say something here. We're Native Americans too. We all over the place. Christopher Columbus, when he sailed the world, he said, everywhere I went, I see black people, or whatever they call us back then. You saw us. Even if you look at the early days of the church, we everywhere. A lot of these saints y'all think are white saints, they really black saints. They've been whitewashed. Like Beethoven really was a black person, but they whitewashed him. They trying to do that right now with Charlie Parker and Duke Ellington. And people laugh about that. They'll help Tupac be white in about 500 years. Tupac will be a white man. And you best believe that. Yeah, you know, that's what's up.
So what King James had black blood.
I heard it, but it's weird because history is propaganda. You don't know what to believe no more because the lie can't exist without some truth in it.
Right.
A lot. Thomas Edison had a whole bunch of black dudes working for him, inventing stuff that he took credit for.
Exactly.
You know, we already know that Jack Daniels, it was Nearest Green that invented Jack Daniels. It wasn't Jack Daniels, man. The secret recipe always been black people.
I mean, just like KFC, Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders, yeah, he's from Kentucky.
Yeah, come on, man.
Well, even like look at country music, though. If you look at country music, you know, Hank Williams sings, he's considered the king of country music, right? He died at 29. Right. Before he died, he did an interview. He said, you know who taught me how to sing and play and all this was a black man named Rufus T-Top Payne that his mama hired to teach him how to play country. See, that's our music too. We created country music. Some of the earliest stars in Grand Ole Opry, D4 Bailey, they were black people, man. And we don't know that story. Charlie Pride, one of the greatest country singers of all time, just passed away long ago. We create all this reggae, black Americans, rap. We do all this stuff. And yet we the most hated and loved people at the same time. It's time for self-love. It's time to heal ourselves.
It is, Brother Ron. It's time for us, man, to wake up, man, and realize who we are, man, on the grand scheme of things, man. Because the longer we sleep, man, we can be played. Yeah. But then when people start waking up, man, you start seeing things happening. Take the past Past 4 years, man. Past 4 years. Go back to 2019. People gonna have some arguments. There's always scoffers out there, man. Somebody always trying to scoff against what you're saying because they want to be what you call it a black apologist.
Mm-hmm.
People like that, man. I don't pay no man. I don't know, man. No. Why was 2019 such a big deal? Why was 2019 such a big deal, man? Why did COVID was announced before 2019? Dr. Fauci told Barack Obama, Tunte's boy.
I used to be an Obama fan. I ain't no Obama fan no more. Go ahead.
Don't start with me, David. Now we ain't got that much time left, brother. Don't you start.
I won't. But still, I ain't gonna cut him no slack.
Okay. Go ahead.
Dr. Fauci told Barack Obama, man, in his first term that this was gonna come into play. So 2019 marked the 400th anniversary of blacks coming to America. Of blacks being in America. Man, in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, what did God tell Israel? That we're going to send you into Egypt again. This time by way of ship. What people on the face of the earth has ever went into captivity in mass captivity by way of ship? America, Washington, D.C., the nation capital, is set up symbolically around Egypt. Everything. The monuments and everything. Yeah. All those Gothic, now you don't say Gothic, all those Egyptian style buildings and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. The Romans got it from the Egyptians. The Egyptians got it from the Babylonians. But all that stuff is set up around Egypt, man. The city is squared out, just like Washington, D.C. is squared out. Everything, Egyptology. So he said, I'm going to send you into Egypt again. Because when they went into Egypt, they went in by feet. They went in walking. All 70 people went into Egypt by way of walking. They didn't have to cross no Suez Canal. Mm-hmm. See, the Suez Canal got built in 1860, was completed in 1869. So then, but Egypt and Israel still sits on the same continental shelf, same mass of land. So man, what people, he said, man, I'm going to send you into Egypt again by way of ship, and no man shall buy you, in other words, bring you out of captivity. So Malcolm, Martin, Mega, all them greats, all y'all wasted y'all time on these people. Until God established the time that they shall come out, they're going to come out. Not by might, not by power, but by his spirit. He's going to bring his peoples out. He's going to wake them up here. He's going to wake them up. So, man, we running around here, man, talking about, man, we the Gentiles, this and Gentiles. Man, get out of my face with that. Because they know those Jews they brought out of Khazario over there in Ukraine in 1948 and stuck them over there in that land. They know who they are. They know they ain't the real deal. Man, it's so much to be said, man, but they know the truth. And so then in 2019, they come up with this COVID thing. Because too many people were doing research. Hey, man, it's the 400 year. It's the 400 year. And that would have led to a lot of other people's eyes opening up. People realize, hey, man, what's this thing with this 400 year? You got a lot of preachers running around here. They don't even know the truth. It's right there in their faces in the book of Deuteronomy. 28:68, it's right there. If you start from verse 1, you'll see all the curses. From verse 1 down to verse 15, it talks about blessing, blessing, blessing. Verse 16 on, it talks about cursing, 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 if you go against God. And what have we been through here in America for the past 400 years? Nothing but beat down. Nothing but being hoodwinked. No, being bamboozled, run amok. For 400 years now. And man, nobody want to talk about that. And when you get to talking about it, man, get ready. They're going to come at you.
Hey,
they're going to come at you, man.
You know who built DC, right? You know who built or created Washington, D.C.? Who built it? You know who created it, right?
Benjamin Banneker?
Right. He was a black man, right? They say he probably was Godon.
Benjamin Banneker.
Godon. Yeah.
Benjamin
America
Banneker
owes us a debt, man. We gave America its cultural identity. We gave America a lot of things that we have denied ourselves for over 400 years. Now's the time to collect that check and make sure it don't bounce, like Dr. King said. See, the thing about Dr. King, they had to kill him in Memphis because let's say he led that poor people campaign like he's supposed to that May or that summer or spring, whatever. He would probably brought 1 million people with him, poor whites, Native Americans, people from all walks of life. Dr. King would not have been able to control that crowd because his thing was disrupting business as usual. What these people did yesterday was not disrupting business as usual. If you're going to have a protest, you don't have a protest on the weekend. You understand? If you're going to have a protest, you don't ask for permission to protest. It's not supposed to be peaceful. It's supposed to be disruptive. Business not as usual. So they had to kill Dr. King in Memphis. That's why he couldn't be there in the port. He thought he would get killed at the Poor People campaign because Dr. King knew he was a dead man before he was 40. Just like Tupac knew he would be dead by the time he was 25. Dr. King already knew he was a dead man walking. He ain't had that much time because he was at President Kennedy's funeral in D.C. back in the fall of '63. He told Walter Fontroy, he was the secretary of the SCLC, became a congressman later on. He said if they could do that to a president, I won't make it to 40. Both him and Malcolm died at 39. Medgar died at 37. So we're not even allowed to have our black leadership grow into their prime. They were not in their prime when they were killed. And they were family.
No. You know, Ron, our Hispanic brother showed us something back here, man, about 5 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
In Las Vegas and in parts of California, how they went on how you put it, I guess people that work in service industry, right?
Yeah. In
the service industry, man, they shut places down. They went on a mass strike in parts of California.
I remember that.
Parts of Las Vegas, Nevada.
That's right.
They shut places down, man. They wanted to show the American businessman how powerful they are, man, in the industry, man. Man, we want to get paid for what we're worth. Not what you want to pay me. Pay me for what I'm worth. I'm gonna show you my value to you. I won't be coming to work tomorrow. And they didn't go to work. They shut places down, man. Man, businesses need people like Cruz. You remember that, Cruz?
Yeah, I remember that.
They shut places down, man. We around here begging for crumbs, man, begging for this, no, man. No. Sometimes, man, in order to get stronger, man, you gotta get weaker.
That's deep.
Sometimes, man, you gotta hurt sometimes, man.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes, people won't listen until they hit rock bottom.
That's right.
There you go, man.
Maybe that's what was going to happen. Especially with the black community, people don't listen, and they don't want to, and until they hit rock bottom, then there's nothing but up, right? I mean, there's no way. Man. You can't go down any further. You gotta go up.
That's right, man.
Hey, thank you, Cruz, man. I like that, man.
Hey, Cruz. Hey, Cruz. You lied on your back. You lied on your back with your eyes wide open. Which way you looking?
Hey, but I'm saying, it's like Ron was saying earlier, man. This is by design.
By design,
it's by
man.
design. The government, the school system, the Democrats and Republicans is nothing but the same crew.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Right.
It's like wrestling. Yeah, they in the ring, they're killing each other. Once they get out, hey, let's go have a beer.
Yes, sir.
Both parties are the same thing.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, Cruz.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Have you ever seen an eagle, man? You ever seen a one-winged eagle fly?
No.
Now, Dave, where you get that from?
No. No. Here's my point.
Everything on the show got to be the truth. Ron, was that in your disclaimer?
Hey,
No.
Y'all on y'all own. Y'all can speak.
You know David to get the line on Ron, man. I have to straighten him out.
No, man. No, man. I just asked the question.
Don't start, Dave.
I just asked. Whenever you seen a one-winged bird fly, what's the American symbol? What's the American symbol?
It's the
eagle.
Both wings gotta work in unison, man. They gotta work in unison. They gotta work in. Hey man, a one-winged eagle, if an eagle flies in the sky, he up there at his maximum peak. He up there, man, at 5,000 feet. He a mile up in the air.
Right.
Let one of them wings break.
Okay.
Let one of them break.
Okay.
But you know, David, like that story we were told one time at at work about those monkeys. They said that.
Oh man, yeah, 5 monkeys.
David, hey Tante, don't let David tell it. He'll tell it all wrong.
Okay. And he take too long too. You know how
about those monkeys, they every time they put a like a bananas in the cage, and every time one of the monkeys kept trying to get one, here comes the zookeeper or whoever it was and hosed them down.
Right.
Hose all of them down.
Right.
Man, can I tell my story?
And it got to the point where every time one of the monkeys went up there, the other monkeys beat him up for it.
Right.
For trying to get the banana. They were not going to get hosed down again.
Right.
And then once all those monkeys were not in the same cage and new monkeys came, they started doing the same thing. So sooner or later, they didn't even know why they were not trying to get the banana. But every time somebody tried to get it, they would bring them down. So I think that's the same thing with our community.
Right.
Every time somebody's trying to rise up and help each other and bring everybody up, somebody's going to hose them down, whether it's other people, the guys on the top, or our own people.
Yeah,
that's right.
Our own people sometimes bring us down.
Right.
Even in our own jobs.
Right.
There's a question from the audience for you guys. Somebody got a question. I'm trying to let me post it. Okay, let me post it. Quick question to the panel. As a product of integration, which has worked for me, ironically, do you think civil rights movement should focus on liberation more than integration?
Yes, I think so. Because liberation is a understanding of self. It's self-identity. Integration, why I gotta try to make somebody else a self-me? Okay, I understand you got different cultures. We come from different cultures. We come from different walks of life. But why I gotta make somebody a self-me? Like, take me and Cruz, for instance. Mm-hmm. Cruz being of a Hispanic background. Lived in Mexico, raised in Mexico, understand the Mexican culture. Mm-hmm. We understand each other. He don't try to force me to understand, to accept how he was raised.
Right.
I don't try to make Cruz or force Cruz to accept how I was raised, how I was raised in my culture, and certain things that we did and didn't do and all that, what we didn't eat and how we didn't talk and all that. No, we accept each other for the man that he is. He accept me for the man that I am. We don't try to force our beliefs or our cultural beliefs or whatever, religious beliefs on one another. No, so no, I accept liberation. I want to be free to be who I am. No, I'm not trying to integrate with nobody. I mean, if I integrate with somebody, then so be it. It just happened. Mm-hmm. Integration to me is something that just happened. Hey, you white, I'm black, and we accept each other for who we are, and we integrated to function, to get a job done. But when I leave work and you leave work, we go back to our different perspectives. We come together to be able to get a goal achieved. We ain't trying to. I'm not trying to make you accept my cultural beliefs and all that, be it religious, political, social, whatever, economic, whatever. We're teammates. We trying to strive to accomplish a goal and win the game. Man, I just want to win the game. I'm like Kobe and Mike. I just want to win.
That's right.
I don't care who scored more than me.
Solid answer, Dave. Solid.
So no.
Thank you, Tante. They got any more questions, Ron?
I know. I think people.
Anybody want to answer that?
Oh, they said, well, this brother, I don't know, it was a brother or whatever. Let me see. It's a Democrats and Republicans are two of the same bird. Each represents the wing.
There you go, brother.
I fear I led my people into a burning house. MLK quote. Then, brother, liberation was the priority of Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey.
Yeah, there you go. Man, Marcus Garvey, man, that was a powerful brother, man. He did something back in the 1920s, man, that a lot of white folks couldn't accomplish, man.
Mm.
Man, this brother had ships going to and from the West Indies to America, man, doing trades and all that stuff. The brother was powerful, man. Man, he was dangerous because what he was doing, he was liberating peoples into bit. He was doing financial liberation, what he was doing. He was, man, Jay-Z, Kanye West, all of them, man. Man, they all be thanking Marcus Garvey right now for what he did, man, what he showed them. You know, man, Marcus Garvey the brother was cold, man. He was way ahead. He was way ahead of his time. And I salute him, man. Brother was cold, man. And man, he was showing white folks, man, how to run a business, man, mercantile business. Brother was powerful, man. He was powerful.
Got to work now.
Yeah, we see you, Cruz. We see you over there now.
Yeah. Got you working. Welcome, brother.
Cut that light on, brother. Don't be trying to hide.
I just want to to your face.
It took him an hour, 20 minutes to get on.
Hey, man.
Yeah, but you know the thing about Marcus Garvey, it goes back to what Brother Cruz talked about the gorillas in the cage with the banana. He was brought down by black people. The government could not bring him down, but it was like the first black FBI agent in history that was hired was James Wormley Jones. Just Google Agent 800. He was the guy that got to Marcus' inner circle. A couple FBI guys, black FBI guys. And then Dick Gregory will say, and people don't want to talk about this, but he said that Queen Mother Moore, somebody that's very well respected in the black liberation community, that she may have something to do with Marcus Garvey being brought down as well, too. Yeah. It was black folks that were utilized, even with the Nation of Islam. John Ali, who was the national secretary that was responsible for correspondence between Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad, he was an FBI asset. Matter of fact, Malcolm talked about how, how they said we subversive and all that when we got a lot of police in our organization. We already been properly infiltrated. You know what I'm saying? We got all type of law enforcement in the nation. So how are you saying that we're a terrorist organization, But all these organizations are compromised. It's just part of the thing, man. That's how it goes. They got to spy on you. Dr. King family, there's an article that came out back in the early 90s. Dr. King's family was spied up by the U.S. government for 3 generations before he was even born. They started with his maternal grandfather back in the 19-teens because they say he was a subversive, a political subversive, just during the Red Scare era. So you got to think about Dr. King been watched by the government before he was even born. He had spies at Morehouse. You understand what I'm saying? There was classmates and teachers spying on him. So he was a targeted individual. So, I mean, even Fred Hampton, the Black Messiah, the Judas and Black Messiah movie, the government started watching Fred Hampton when he was 14 while he was living in Illinois. And his mom used to babysit Emmett Till. And I talked to his mom before she passed. And I thanked her for her son and for what she did to raise him. But she used to babysit Emmett Till. So you think about all that trauma just from one person. Your son was talking about the government, and then you babysitted Emmett Till. Because Fred Hampton was killed at 21 in his bed. And it was proven in civil court the government was complicit in killing him. His head of security was FBI. It was a black man that did the death shot, though. It was a rogue black police officer that shot him in the head. That killed him.
Shot down, man, by black people. Man, it's just like, man, with the Malcolm X assassination, man. They use black folks as the black assassins as a front.
Right.
But Malcolm was actually shot, man, by FBI agent, because it proved that all the fatal shots that Malcolm was hit with came down. FBI agents came in there 3 days before Malcolm was to speak at the Audubon Ball facility, right? They came in and set up. 3 days before Malcolm death. Came in and set up. Now, man, they wanted to be assured that Malcolm would die. They couldn't trust those guys to make sure that he was going to get shot down. Why then, man, Malcolm had no security around him before his death? Man,
that's the thing they do.
King had no security around him. King, security was... Go ahead, Ron.
Go ahead.
No, man, King didn't have no security around him. Why
Yeah, but this,
everybody that was around King? Why everybody that was around King when King got killed, man? None of them had on neckties, but they was
you know
going
he
with
had the
King for King to
yeah.
speak.
Well, the thing about it
None of
was
them wore
King.
neckties.
Yeah, well, the thing about the King, well, people got to study history, man, because like when Malcolm used to have speeches at the Audubon, he had a rally at the Audubon. He didn't have to ask for police to be there. There'll be 3 dozen of New York finest. There'll be 3 dozen police officers at the rallies when Malcolm had the Audubon. And that day
He
they
had
was
no
nowhere
security
near
there.
the rally. They were like blocks away. When Dr. King used to come to Memphis, I used to talk to a black police officer. He probably passed on. He'd be 100 years old probably right now. But he was responsible for organizing the all-black police security detail for Dr. King. And the last time he came to Memphis, he had no protection. Then you had the Memphis invaders who had guns on them. They were kicked out the hotel by Jesse Jackson allegedly, like an hour before King was killed. So Dr. King had brothers with guns. See, this is like this myth. I used to talk to Mega Evers' brother all the time when I used to go to Jackson, Mississippi. Charles Evers,
But
just
King had
passed
a
away
gun
3 years
himself.
ago. Charles Evers was a G, man. He was a gangster dude, but he was brilliant. I loved it. He was my favorite people, man, because he told me, Ron, when Dr. King used to come to Jackson, he used to run to my house. He said, well, Charles, I feel so comfortable because you got all the guns and goons.
Charles wasn't no joke, man.
Charles Evans said, Ron, I believe in the 3 G's: God, guns, and goons. See, when the march against Dr. King had protection around him, and people like when he got stabbed by that black woman up in New York doing his book signing back in the 50s, that's when he started getting protection. Because he said in his last speech, if he had sneezed, that blade would have pierced his heart. He would have bled to death. But I think it was a black police officer that saved his life at that point.
Right.
So the thing about it is security should never be underrated.
A lot of folks didn't know, Ron. Dr. King had got to the point, yeah, he preached nonviolence. He had to go out and buy a gun. People don't know that.
Gun, yeah.
Dr. King went out and bought him a 38. He bought him a 38 special revolver, man. For his protection. But what I'm gonna say what you were saying, man. Charles Evans wasn't no joke, man. The mayor of Chula, Mississippi.
They don't talk about him. They hate him. They hate Charles.
No, man.
He was a
Charles Evans didn't play, man. I love he was straight up gangster, man. But hey, Ron. They had a 5-point kill plan for Dr. King. They had 5 locations in the city of Memphis that it was this guy, man. They called him Bear. His daddy was over the Memphis Sanitation Department back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And Bear, man, had wrote a book about the plot to kill Dr. King. They were all these big, powerful white guys would meet at his daddy's house at the time out here in East Memphis, out there around Nutbush, McCorkle, around there and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they stayed at, right? Almost at the interstate. They would meet at his daddy's house. They were planning and plotting, man, that Dr. King would not get out of Memphis alive. He didn't die on that balcony down there. You know that, right? He didn't die on that balcony.
Right? Yeah.
He died at St. Joseph, lying on his back on that Garnet, man, where he died at. Not Garnet, but hospital bed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the call was made at to kill him. He wasn't gonna get out of there. Dr. King didn't die on that gun. He didn't die on that balcony down there. And most people don't know that. He died at St. Joseph Hospital, man. They pulled the plug on him. Killed him. And they killed him, y'all. So, man, it's a lot of stuff, man. A lot of black people was instrumental in that. Jesse Jackson, the night of, man. The night of, they shut down the Memphis International Airport, man. Shut it down, Tante. No planes going in, no planes coming out. But how did Jesse Jackson get out of here, right? Get on the airplane with a bloody shirt and fly to Chicago. He flew to Chicago. What did Billy Samuel Cowell say? Just as I moved out of the way to give the gunman a clear sight, sound a shot rang out. Like, no good dog.
Billy Cowell was cross-examined during a 99 civil trial in Memphis. December 8th, 1999, the U.S. government was found complicit in killing Dr. King. The King family brought a suit against Lloyd Jower, who was the owner of a restaurant near, I think, Jim's Grill, near the Lorraine Motel. And he said he was the point person for the hitman. So there's a book that people should read, Dr. William Pepper's book, A Plot to Kill King, that talks about the civil trial and the background and all that stuff. Because James Earl Ray never had a trial. And they killed him in prison because he needed an organ transplant. We had private donors that raised money for
Man,
him to get the transplant, to send him to Pittsburgh to do it. In the state of Tennessee, the governor said, no, we ain't gonna allow him to get that transplant.
man,
That would have saved
man, you
his life
know,
so he could tell his tale.
man, you know who killed Dr. King, man? A brother
The
right here
government.
from Memphis, man. I can't call his first name. Brother right here from Memphis, man. Grew up in my old neighborhood over in Riverside. His last name was Walker. We used to call him Doc Walker.
Okay.
He stabbed Dr. King, man, 16 times. I mean, he stabbed James L. Ray 16 times.
Really?
That's who killed James L. Ray.
Now, I heard he died because he had to get a transplant. He was like denied a life-saving organ
Well,
treatment. He probably got stabbed. He might have. I'm sure people attacked him in prison, but that's my
he stabbed
understanding of what happened.
he stabbed the 6. Well, I may be wrong on that. He killed him, but he stabbed him 16 times in an
I
attempt
don't
to
know
take
doubt
his life.
believe that. I mean, you'd be a hated man if people think you killed some man like Dr. King. You probably would be hated, but I don't believe James O'Reilly killed Dr. King because it didn't come from the boarding house. It more than likely the shot came from the fire station because they had black firefighters that they sent home that day. I had a chance to talk to Officer Ed Reddick. He was stationed in the fire station. He was a police officer. He was on the Dr. King and them on the surveillance, and they forcibly removed him from the fire station. And he testified in Congress when they had the assassination committee. There's so much stuff to this stuff, but Dr. King's inner circle knew by 1978 that the FBI was involved in his death. The FBI killed because the guy who ran the police and fire department in Memphis was a guy named Frank Holloman, who was an FBI man for 25 years under Jacob Hoover. He was one of his top goons. So that's the guy who controlled the Memphis fire and police departments when King got killed.
Wow, man.
I talked to Bear. I think Bear dead. I think he was dying from cancer. But I talked to Bear before. His daddy was on the Memphis Dixie.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I talked to Bear before.
Ron his dad was something else, man.
Rest in peace. He said his brother was a veteran and shot. But I heard police. It was like the best shot in the police force. That was the actual man on King.
You know, it was told to me, man. It was told to me one time that older white guy was having a conversation with somebody, right? And he said they were talking about Dr. King being killed here in Memphis.
Yeah.
They said Dr. King could have been killed anywhere in the South. They wanted him to be killed. But none of the southern mayors of those cities that he was visiting, right, wanted him killed in their city because they didn't want that scar on their city.
That's right.
They didn't want that curse on their city. And so at the time, we had Henry Lowe, here in Memphis. And Lowe accepted that plan to kill him here in Memphis. And older white guy, about 84 years old, said, no, they could have killed him anywhere they wanted to kill him at. But none of the southern mayors of these southern cities wanted him killed in their city because they didn't want that curse on their city.
That makes sense. And it shouldn't be a curse though. Here's the problem I have with that. Dallas is booming. They killed the president in Dallas, but the government killed the president. It wasn't, well, never mind. I ain't gonna get into all this. It's too much right now. But what I'm saying is they wanted to kill King in L.A., but they got Bobby Kennedy 2 months later. They were trying to kill King in Louisville. His brother had a church in A.D. King had a church in Louisville, and it was a white police officer in Louisville police force that exposed his co-workers trying to kill King. It was a joke, man. We wasn't gonna kill King in Louisville. So it's like a couple of places. Dr. King family has been targeted. Like I said, his mama got killed. I didn't say it, but his mama did get killed in Ebenezer in the 70s by a black man, a Hebrew Israelite, in the church. His brother was found dead in a swimming pool the next year after he was killed. But his brother could swim and there was no water in his lungs, so he didn't drown. So something else happened. So I know it's a rabbit hole, but I just want to get y'all the last words. I want to thank y'all for y'all time this Sunday. Y'all could have been anywhere, but you chose it to spend with us on We All Be TV. We are forever grateful because we all be brothers. But anybody, the last words for this session? Thank you so much.
Go ahead,
I'll say one thing. I just say, my message is to the young men, man. Put the guns down, man. Shooting somebody or, carrying a gun is not the measure of a man. So I'm just gonna say to those guys, man, don't think that gun make your manhood. It's how you take care of your family, how you respect God, and just don't get so emotional about small situations. And be a man, and walk off, man. Okay, so we all come from, all of us come from poverty at some point in our lives, you know. So put the guns down in Memphis, man. And thank you, Ron.
No problem. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, I like to.
One more thing, Cruz. I want to say one more thing.
Yeah, I thought you were done,
ladies,
man.
And to the ladies, and let me say one more thing. And to the ladies, and men, let's get back in our sons' lives, man, because what's going on in Memphis is our responsibility. It's not the police's responsibility. That's our responsibility. So, you know, let's get back in our sons' lives, and we the ones that can straighten it out. Okay, Ron.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to thank you, Ron, for having us and your audience for listening. But Tante's right. I can't say anything more than what Tante said. He did a pretty good job. We got to get back to respecting our elders, respecting our, community, trying to do a lot better than what we're doing now. And like Tante said, get involved in our kids' lives, our nieces and nephews, grandkids. Just get involved and make sure they're going on the right path.
That's right. Excellent.
Amen. Hey, man, I agree wholeheartedly with everything that Cruz and Tante have said. It's gonna take, man. It's gonna take a village to raise our children, man. We gotta get back to that village mentality. We see our kids doing something that's not right, going astray. Hey, man, speak out, say something. But it's how we say it. It's how we say it to them. We gotta meet them where they're at, y'all.
Yeah.
You can have a doctorate degree or psychology degree or whatever, be as smart as you want to be. You can't meet that person where they're at. All that go out the window. So we gotta learn, y'all, meet people where they're at, y'all. Man, brothers love the sisters, love your wives, respect your husband, Because we equate love with respect with love. And man, we have to learn to listen more and better. Learn that, man, we gotta be vigilant. We gotta be what's the word? Discerning. Knowing when somebody, man, ain't who they normally are. And being able to meet them where they at. Go down where they at or come up where they at. And push, pull, whatever, to make their day better. Sometimes making my brother's day better, my sister's day better, makes my day better. When I'm going through, man, to do something for somebody else, man, that make their day better, man, it makes my day. I'm planting the seed, man. So y'all, hey, man, hey, peace, brother. I enjoyed it, man.
It's gonna be. Hopefully, I hope y'all do another show with us. And
most definitely, man.
Yeah, there's one more question from John White. He got these questions for y'all, but y'all can answer it the way y'all want to or whatever. But he said, "Thanks, Brother David, for answering my question." Another question to the panel: why does it seem like the Black community has never recovered from the deaths of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King? Anybody want to take a shot at that?
Well, y'all want to shoot that? Well. Because we understood what Malcolm and Martin was shooting for. We never got equality in general. We never got equality in general, because what Malcolm was looking for something different. What Martin was looking for. Martin was looking for acceptance. Malcolm was looking for togetherness. Malcolm wanted for us, man, to realize and respect, man, the strength that was in us. Martin wanted us, right, to be accepted by those who didn't want us. Because see, man, keep in mind, man, it came to a point in American history that the Black man was no longer needed in the cotton field because the cotton gins was doing the work. See, we are up on a greater, I don't want to be long, we are up on a greater condemnation now than we were then. Because, brother, AI is on the rise. AI gonna replace a lot of not just white, Black folk, but people. Period. AI gonna replace a lot of people. And then you better listen to Bill Gates. Better listen to what Bill Gates is not telling you. What NBC, ABC, Evening News is not telling you. What they ain't telling you, we don't need y'all no longer. You are considered undesirables. We got machines can do what y'all doing much faster with a whole lot less no mistakes. As a matter of fact, if the programming is right, they ain't making no mistake. What I need you for? I put diseases and all kinds of stuff out there to eliminate you. So,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
was thinking about.
Malcolm wanted. Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
cool. I'm
Dave.
sorry, cool.
No, I was gonna say I was gonna
Yeah,
throw
go
in
ahead,
a
cool.
two cents in there, even though I'm not a black and I didn't go through the same thing as David and Tante were going through here in the city. The question I think he said was, why haven't they recovered,
Right.
or the black community recovered? I think it's like going back to what David said at the beginning. They broke the buck. The two, they broke them down, which killing them, and they killed the two of the leaders. How like Dave was saying, and nobody rose up to take the reins and say, "Oh, we're not gonna stop now. No, we're gonna keep going. You're gonna rise up." I don't think nobody really, stepped up to the plate to say we're gonna keep on liberating. Push for that liberation. And like David said, I think it starts at home. We got to start with our kids and teaching our kids the true history of what happened, not what they teach in school history, but the true history. So our kids can grow up and be those politicians and change the world, change our community. Because if we grow up, our kids grow up learning this fake history they teach in the school, they
Man.
they don't realize
Wow.
where they come from. They don't know. They just go by what the teachers still tell them. Which they're gonna say, well, Martin Luther King got assassinated, or Malcolm X got assassinated by so and so. It's not that simple. It's a deep, like you said, a deep rabbit hole, like you were saying, Ron. And our kids don't know it, and we don't teach it. So I think we gotta first teach it the real history that went on, so we can get out of this cycle. So
right.
we can't, like the person who asked the question, why haven't we why haven't the black community moved on from all this?
Right. And then I say just one quick thing, Ron. I think we at a point. I think we had a point of action where they left off. Where they left off at, it's time for action after that. And like Cruz was saying, responsibility. We have to take on that responsibility and stop looking at the system to do things for us. So it's time for action. And when and just like the universal laws, when you do certain things, you're gonna get certain results. And I think we as black people, we fail to do what it takes for to move forward. We don't do that. How can we say we don't want to stay in the ghetto, but we throw a cup out of the window at the stop sign? How can we say we want to be wealthy, but every dollar we get, we spend? How can we say we don't want criminals in the community, yet we agree to male being on child support, but not making sure that child gets that man discipline? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think we just fail. It's time for action, and I think we fail at doing what's right for the results that we want. No criminals, a good community, finances. We got to put that into the universe. We got to take the right action to get that result, and it's time for us to do that.
Yeah, Chante said something that was very important though. One of the seven natural laws of the universe is that cause and effect. Like you said, you ride down the street in Collierville, or in Germantown, or in Bartlett, or in Lakeland, you understand, and you're in a populated area. You understand the effect of your cause when you throw that Kentucky Fried Chicken bag out your window onto the street, right? You understand the effect it can cause the consequences, right? That Shelby County Sheriff, Collierville Police, Germantown Police, Bartlett Police, or somebody just happen to see you do that and let them know you done it. You understand the effects of that will be consequential, right? So then you don't do it. But in the city of Memphis, right, you don't care because, hey man, I'm sitting there at the light this morning. 2 cars back, the police is in another lane, right? 2 cars back.
Mm-hmm.
Person waiting for the red light to change. They wait and they wait. They just say, man, forget it. I'm gonna run the red light. What the police do? Nothing. What would Barter police do? What would Barter police do?
You
Gonna
gonna get
call your
pulled
bill.
over, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, not just pull you over. You're going to jail.
Mm.
Because first of all, they feel like for one, you didn't just break the law, for one, but for number two, more meaningful, you disrespect me as a law enforcement agent. Oh, you gotta go to jail.
Mm.
You gotta go to jail. With severe penalty, man. So man, you know, people don't understand, man. When you break the law, man, be it universal or spiritual, physical or spiritual, there's consequences behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and we as a people don't understand. You can't break the law, keep on breaking the law and not expecting no consequences. You keep on breaking the law of natural survival. Come on, man. What you expect to happen? The consequences they're gonna catch up with you, and when they do, are you ready for them? No, because you didn't give them no thought. So man, like Fool said, man, black folks waiting for a leader to pop up. You be the leader.
Mm.
Then your spokesperson, when your spokesperson show up, you tell them, all these people behind me, here's what they want. I'm speaking as a spokesperson. I only come on their behalf. They tell me what they want, and I'm here to tell you what they want. But man, that's how it works, man. Man, tear them out for these so-called leaders, sellouts. Man, I don't want to sell out for.
Okay, well, thank y'all. And I want to just add this Benjamin Franklin quote that Brother David alluded to earlier. It goes like, he who would trade liberty for some temporary security deserves neither liberty nor security. So leave on that
Don't
note.
deserve it, man.
This is the times we living in. This is zeitgeist.
One more time, Ron. Give it to me one more time, Ron.
He who trade liberty for some temporary security deserves neither liberty nor security.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank y'all so much for spending time with us today on We All BTV. Hopefully y'all come back again. Y'all more than welcome to come back in the future. We love you, Matt Lee, in the words of Duke Ellington. Y'all keep on producing and pushing. And thank y'all for giving me a chance to get back on the air. It's been a minute, but I'm glad that you brothers allowed me a chance to get back on. I'm feeling good. I feel good.
All right.
Enjoy it, man.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
I enjoyed you, brother.
Enjoy all y'all, man.
All right.
Y'all take care of yourselves. Y'all be safe. I'll see y'all sometime this week.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, brother.
All right.
Blessings.
Blessings.
All right,
One love. One love. Thank
Bless
y'all.
you, bro.
One love, man.